Simon wants to know, how should you invest a lump sum to mitigate a market crash? I mean, you could drip it into the market, dollar cost average or pound cost average. So because the market tends to go up more than it goes down, Simon, I think if you look at the S&P 500 as an example, around a third of years dip. So that means 2/3 have gone up. Past performance is no indicator of future performance, of course. But what that means is that 2/3 of the time, it was better to just slam all your money in the market because it tends to go up. Now, that doesn't help in the 1/3 of years where it dips. And then you're kicking yourself going, crap, I wish I hadn't have done that. So this is as much a logic question as it is an emotional one. Logically, we know the market tends to go up more than it goes down. So we should just stick all of our money in the market as soon as we've got it so that we can let it ride. But emotionally, if you stick it in and then it drops and that would be unbearable to you, why not just go, if I've got 20 grand, let's invest £1,500 a month every month for the next, 10 months or whatever, so that I kind of mitigate against that. I think we need to be really honest with ourselves and have that conversation of, if I put all this money in and the market drops 20% tomorrow, would I be gutted? I personally wouldn't give a crap. Like, it wouldn't bother me at all, because I know that zoom out 30 years, it's going to look like a little blip on the chart.
But you've also got, we had that guest, Amy, who was one of our listeners, and she...
exactly. She couldn't handle
emotionally.
That. She couldn't handle it.
So you have to look at yourself and be like, okay, exactly. if I put in this 20 grand and it goes down 20%, how will I react? Am I going to sell it and then have lost 20% of my holdings? Or am I going to say, I knew this was a possibility, I'm going to weather it out. So you have to look at yourself and how you think you'll react emotionally.
Exactly.
And it's really hard to predict because even the best of us, we're still going to act emotionally because it's human nature.
Yeah, and in investing, people want the kind of the right answer, the mathematical almost answer, but actually the more important question is the human one, because when the crap hits the fan, which it will, how are you going to react? And if you have an Amy where you kind of cash out and then you could end up losing money. So I think for many people who have, because he's asking that question, I'd imagine the right answer is probably just to chunk it up.
And for me, when you miss out on growth, like if you sell and then the market goes up, it hurts me the same as if it goes down and I sell. Like I feel it the same. I'm like, oh, I just missed 10% gains.
Well, it's a loss, isn't it?
It's a loss. It's not a loss, but it's like a potential loss because you didn't. Yeah, so you have to be aware that even if you sell and it goes up, you might be upset again. So
we love getting all of your questions, and one that we get time and time again is, I've just come into a lump sum, what should I do? Ask Tamain, he's going to say put it all on red. Ask me and I'll say, I don't know, to be honest, because I've never had a lump sum. So I think it's best with this question that you probably ask the professionals so you don't get it wrong. So what we're doing is we're hosting a completely free webinar with financial advisor and friend of the podcast, Lisa Conway-Hughes. She's been on the podcast with us a few times, and she will outline the key options and considerations for handling a lump sum. If you want to join the waiting list for that, then there's a link in the description. And if you want us to do any other webinars like this or have any other questions that you would like us to answer, I've left the email below as well that's best to reach us on.